Has a stranger ever saved your life? I was 22, driving back to college after winter break in my beat-up Honda Civic. It was around 11 p.m. on this deserted stretch of highway through rural Pennsylvania. Middle of nowhere, just farmland and woods on both sides for miles. I was listening to music, probably going a little too fast, when suddenly my steering wheel started shaking violently. Then I heard this loud popping sound and my car started veering hard to the right. Blowout. Front right tire completely shredded. I managed to pull over onto this narrow shoulder, but I was in a really bad spot. The road curved right where I stopped, so oncoming traffic couldn't see my car until they were almost on top of me. My hazard lights were on, but it was pitch black outside. I got out to assess the damage and realized how screwed I was. The tire was completely destroyed, and I was maybe 40 miles from the nearest town. This was 2018, so I had a smartphone, but there was zero cell service out there. I popped my trunk and found my spare tire, but here's the problem. I'd never actually changed a tire before. My dad had shown me once when I was 16, but I wasn't paying attention. I thought I'd never need to know. I'm out there with my phone's flashlight, trying to figure out how to use the jack, when I see headlights approaching from behind. The car slows down and pulls over about 30 feet behind me. My first thought was relief. But then I got nervous. It's almost midnight. I'm alone on a dark highway, and some random person is pulling over. Could be a good Samaritan, could be someone looking to rob me, or worse. This guy gets out of his car, older dude, maybe 55, wearing a flannel shirt and work boots. He calls out, "You all right over there, son?" I yell back, "Yeah, just a flat tire, but I think I can handle it." I didn't want to admit I had no clue what I was doing. He walks over anyway and immediately sees that I'm struggling. First time changing a tire, I nodded, feeling embarrassed. He chuckles and says, "No shame in that. Let me give you a hand." This guy, his name was Kevin, spent the next 20 minutes teaching me how to properly change a tire. He showed me how to position the jack, how to loosen the lug nuts, the whole process. He could have just done it himself in 5 minutes, but he made sure I learned every step. We're almost done when I hear this loud rumbling sound getting closer. Kevin suddenly grabs my arm and yanks me away from the car just as this massive pickup truck comes flying around the curve. The truck was going at least 70 miles per hour and drifted into the shoulder exactly where I'd been kneeling next to my car. If Kevin hadn't pulled me away, I would have been crushed instantly. The truck didn't even slow down. Driver probably never saw us. Kevin and I just stood there for a minute, both realizing how close I'd come to dying. My hands were shaking as we finished putting the spare tire on. "That's why you never work on a car on a curve like this," Kevin said. "Drivers can't see you until it's too late." I should have mentioned that first thing. After we finished, Kevin followed me to the next town to make sure my spare tire held up. We stopped at a 24-hour diner and I bought him coffee and pie. Turned out he was a mechanic, been fixing cars for 30 years. "I've seen too many accidents on highways," he told me. "People changing tires, running out of gas, whatever. Drivers just don't see you in time, especially at night." He explained that the proper thing to do is call for roadside assistance or a tow truck. But if you absolutely have to change a tire yourself, you should set up flares or reflectors way behind your car to warn other drivers. "Most people don't carry that stuff though," he said. "That's why I always stop when I see someone broken down. Better safe than sorry." Kevin gave me his business card and told me to call him if I ever needed car advice. He also made me promise to keep emergency flares in my car from then on. I drove back to school the next day and immediately bought a roadside emergency kit. Flares, reflectors, jumper cables, the whole thing. I also called my dad and had him walk me through basic car maintenance over the phone. But here's the crazy part. About 6 months later, I was driving that same stretch of highway during the day when I saw a car broken down in almost the exact same spot where I'd had my blowout. It was a young woman, maybe my age, trying to change her tire. Cars were whizzing past her at highway speeds, and she was way too close to the travel lane. I pulled over and helped her move her car further off the road, then set up flares behind her car just like Kevin had taught me. I helped her change the tire, making sure she learned the process just like Kevin had done for me. When we finished, she thanked me and asked why I stopped to help. I told her about Kevin and how a stranger had saved my life on that same stretch of road. "So now I'm paying it forward," I said. She smiled and said, "Maybe I'll do the same thing someday if I see someone who needs help." I think about Kevin all the time. He didn't just save my life that night. He taught me that sometimes being a good person means stopping to help someone even when it's inconvenient. He could have just driven past like everyone else, but he didn't. And because of that, I'm still here.